Everything we do here at James Project focuses on caring for vulnerable women and children because we believe that's the call that God has placed on every one of us as Christians.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We're back with another update for the James Project with Bryon. How are you doing, Bryon?
I'm good, Cathy. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And it is June. So what is going
It
on?
is June.
Yeah. What's
Well,
new?
as always in the summer, we're in the middle of team season,
Mm,
which is a blessing. Um, we love our teams and all the work that they do for our kids and our women and the ministry itself. And there's a team there now and has been for the last, I think, 5 weeks. But we have some boots on the ground. It's a little different this summer. We have two, we've mentioned before, two brothers that are there ministering. They both speak Spanish. They're just amazing young men. And if you're going down and you meet them, you're going to love them. They really are exceptional young men. And I'm not just saying that, they are. We've been very impressed with them. And they're a big help to our teams team. I know Ruben has been overworked, being a house father and translating. So the boys are there to relieve him, to bring some new energy. And we also have hired yet another team host because Luis is in the States trying to get citizenship for his wife. He'll be back at some point, but we don't really know when. But we have hired a young lady who grew up in California a little bit. Her name's Yasmin, but she also goes by Jessie. So I'll let her, if you get to meet her, let her tell you what she'd rather be called. She's a young lady, very bright, and she actually, when we did the interview, when we met her, she was living in Guatemala City with her sister, and in zone 18, which is a dangerous area. Her grandparents live in Monja, so she has moved in with grandparents to help not just take care of them, but now she has work too. So hopefully she's going to be a great fit and a big help.
So she grew up in Guatemala or California?
Well, she was born in Guatemala. She was in, I can't remember the details. She was in California for maybe 10 years growing up, maybe less than that, but her English is great. Very sweet young lady and loves the Lord. So, yeah, it's, we've had a lot of turnover in that position, and we're just hoping that she's going to be a blessing and around for a long time.
I'm really impressed with how well the teams roll with the turnover, though.
Yeah, I know everybody meets somebody and has their favorite, and and they're sad to see them go, but that's just the position. It's demanding, and uh, I don't really know what else to say other than it's a lot of work, and not everybody. It's not for everybody. So
Right. Well, I'm glad that God has brought Yasmin and Jessie, or Jessie.
yeah,
That's great.
I'm
Right.
always confused, and they give you one name, and then they say, "Oh, or you can call me this," and it's like, okay.
Well, at least she'll answer, right?
Yeah, she will.
That's good. What else is going on?
Well, I'll give you some construction updates. Casa Elizabeth will probably be at least 3 more months under construction. But the roof is on. They're working on the interior now. Um, Village of Hope, our office and training center over there, is pretty much done. This week they're installing doors and windows, and so by the end of the week, next week, it should be open and ready to use. So what a blessing. Yeah, I know Rudy and Lorraine are excited to get in there and to be on site every day and have a place for all the women to come in to do their training instead of renting a place or meeting at a coffee shop. So that's a big step in that direction.
Yeah. And maybe more women will get familiar with the Village of Hope and be less apprehensive.
Yeah, I think the more they come out there and they see the property and see what's there and see the possibilities, I think yes, you're exactly right that more women will get comfortable and be willing to move out there.
That's good. That's good. You
Yeah.
have two moms there now? Two families?
No, we just have one. The second mom that moved in was just temporary. I didn't realize that at the time, but yeah, it turns out it was more of an emergency kind of situation. So yeah, it's just Yanira and her kids still, but she loves it. She's
Oh, yeah.
super happy to be there, and the
Yeah.
kids love it too.
Yeah. And how great to be able to have that emergency housing for moms who need it temporarily.
Yeah, we had actually when we were down there a couple weeks ago, we thought we were getting an emergency case from Belize. It was kind of a very dangerous situation. She was on the run, and we were ready to accept her. And then at the last minute, they had been, they didn't feel like it was secure enough that they had to do something different. Not that we weren't secure, but that the situation
Right.
again was dangerous enough that they needed to do something more covert, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, those two houses sitting there empty, and I mean that we need to use them, and we'll gladly use them for those situations. And our long-term goal is once we have longer-term residents is to build the smaller, we call them cabanas, but smaller stay place for women to come in and their kids for short stays,
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
which unfortunately is a need greater than what we realized.
Yeah. I bet. That's hard. A lot of tough situations.
Yeah, for sure,
All
for
right.
sure.
It's rainy season down there, huh?
Yeah, finally. So whatever happened, it was a historically late start to the rainy season, but it's up and going and things are turning green and beautiful. And it's a beautiful country, but it's a lot different when it's green versus brown.
Mhm. Yeah. I've gone down in both February and like August, and it is very different. Yeah. February is very
Yeah.
brown and dusty.
Yeah, but the people are rejoicing now that, the rain is replenishing the crops and settling the dust down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And just so people know, rainy season isn't constant rain. It's not like a rainforest or anything. It just rains pretty much every day at some point, right?
Yeah, it's more like parts of Florida where it, kind of builds all day, and then in the evening, afternoon, it rains and cools things off for the evening. When we were there again a couple weeks ago, it was actually there's some type of tropical storm that passed over Guatemala, so it was raining during the day, which it does happen, but it's not super common.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever been there when it's rained during the day, actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. It's a
interesting.
little different.
Mm, yep. And you've got golf tournaments coming up back here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So our Southwest Missouri tournament's August 17th. It's always uh, I wouldn't say a struggle. A it's a lot of work. Get it going, get people involved. I know people get tired of hearing about our fundraising events, but they are so important to the ministry, to the budget. Um, but we're ready to get it going, and then the one in Kansas City is in October. So people everywhere can help out. Just a donation towards each tournament or one or the other, a sponsorship, donation of items we can put in the raffle or in the auction are always helpful.
And they can find the donation like links on the website, correct?
Now on jamesproject.org, there's an events tab, and then they'll see the two golf tournaments there.
Yeah. And I know it's a lot of work, but I love that it's also an opportunity for people who all love the James Project or are just getting introduced and will love it, get to spend the day together and talk about it, and to be of one mind and one heart toward a mission that is so worthy of time and effort and money. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that there's that opportunity to come together from all over the place to work on, to be there and to have fun.
Yeah, and we get to share a little bit at each event. The golf tournament, it's a little bit, well, I guess even the pickleball, they're a little for time constraints, it's a little, you can't just sit down, everybody down and have a, a vision talk like we do on property. But we get a few minutes and, try to expose the ministry and what God's doing to people that are, so a lot of repeat golfers and volunteers, but also we get new people in, and
Yeah.
it's good to have that opportunity with them.
Yeah. And I haven't been, but I imagine the groups of teams, there's usually probably somebody that's been or, and invited their friends or whatever to play in the golf tournament. So just to get to talk about it while they're golfing, about what God is doing in places of the world, because it's really encouraging to hear what God is doing. Because sometimes in our own life, we struggle to see it. We struggle to, and then if we're watching the news, my goodness, it's hard to see it because they don't report on anything God is doing, except, they just report on the bad stuff. So I would think that it would be an encouraging day for people to hear the good that God is doing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And we love it when, somebody comes down on a team, falls in love with the ministry, and then hosts or recruits their own team.
Yeah.
Because then they can bring in those new people and they can talk about why are we here again, and
Yeah.
really share
Share it.
as to what James Project is.
Yeah. It's very uplifting, even if someone doesn't end up going, just to know that God is working somewhere, I think it helps us to look around and see, okay, if he's working there, where is he working here? And maybe look at life a little bit differently, come at it with a different perspective.
Yeah, it's very interesting because we have a lot of golfers that come every year have never been down, but they believe in what we're doing, and they feel like and they're contributing in their own way by
Yeah.
just by showing up. And that may be all they do all year for the James Project, but they're very always complimentary and about what we do, and they're very impressed with the organization and what we can present during that small time,
Yeah.
and they're very supportive. So we're very thankful for them, but we always want new people too.
Yeah. But you never know the ripple effect, like who they might talk to or who they might encourage or, how they might see God in their own lives after that. So it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, it has
Yeah.
many purposes.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it does.
And we have some new stuff going on, right? Saba is up and running. I'm going to tell.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody by now has received an email. We have developed a different CRM system, which is customer relation management. It's our donor base. So I have whatever you want to call it. It's for us. It's all consuming. It's everything that we um, are able to do on the back end to raise money and to offer sponsorships, all those things. But yeah, it's called Saba after our tree, which is the national on our logo. And right, it's brand new. We just launched this past week, so we're working out bugs. So I'll ask people to be patient with us as we work things out. Hopefully, there were some people whose giving information didn't transfer, it didn't migrate over when that happened, and so we've had to reach out by phone, and people are just been very gracious, like, oh, that's fine. um, there probably will be some kinks along the way, so if anybody has any trouble giving or receive emails notifications that they're not sure about, we welcome everybody to reach out and ask what's going on, and we'll walk them through whatever needs to be done. That hopefully will be a blessing for our supporters, but it will definitely be for us. The old system had its limitations, and with this new one, we're going to be able to do some really cool things.
Yeah, that's great. And there's also a new ambassador program we're working on, right?
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while, but we're getting close to launching. And basically, the ambassador program is for people who really want to get involved, because we hear a lot, oh, what else can I do after we go home from a trip? What can I do? Well, we've always just thrown out some ideas very sporadically, but this is a very organized way for people to get involved around the country. It doesn't matter where you're at. Basically, if you become an ambassador, you will have the opportunity to host events even on your own. We're going to provide coaching, provide resources, materials for people to use. It's just a way to grow the ministry and to get people to stay involved other than just the team experience, so they can reach those in their own community and try to get others involved. We are just about ready to kind of, I guess you call it a pilot uh, program. It's somebody who's been involved for years and again, is always asking to do more. So we've got a couple of those people around the country that are going to do that, and we'll see how it goes. And it'll be one of those things that grow and change over time, but I think it'll be very helpful and it'll give people again resources and opportunities to do something in their local community.
Yeah, there are so many. I know I was one of those people that just came back and was like, what else can we do during the year? I want to keep it front and center. I want to be involved. And so to be able to give people a structured opportunity, that is a really wonderful thing. So they can keep growing in their love for the project and their passion for doing things in their own community and for others around the world. So that's really great. I'm glad.
Yeah, and you are a great example of somebody who was always asking, what can I do, what can I do, but you actually had the initiative to go do some stuff on your own,
Yeah.
with some a little bit of guidance. But this allow people who maybe are just too scared or too hesitant, like I can't do that, I don't know what to do. This gives them the materials to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be wonderful. Yeah, life is really busy. So if they can have a structure and, it all laid out and they can just implement it, it'll be really great.
Yeah, and it's not like, you're committing your life to uh, a whole bunch of work. It's here's some options. Here's, they're going to have three different tiers of participation. The first tier being very simple, just prayer, and just some sharing opportunities. And then as confidence grows or as the interest grows in your area, then we can provide it, like I said, to eventually maybe host an event
Yeah.
in
Just
your area.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then something bigger if you want. Yeah. Yeah. And with the first level, that prayer one, you'll have a calendar, right? Like of specific things that the project needs prayer for. And so they can keep it front and center where they do their quiet
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah. We've developed a 30-day prayer calendar. It's not specific, but it's general needs. I mean, it's like I pray for the house parents today. This is generally what they're, the kind of needs they have, at any given moment. Or the next day, we're going to pray for teams. Next day, pray for, administration, whatever. But that gets people focused on praying for the project.
Hmm. And give
And
some,
then there's,
yeah. So they
yeah,
don't
some structure to it.
to think about what is it that I need to pray for today. It's just right there for them. Oh yeah, I'm going to pray for teams and here's some verses and yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah. And then those people who are in the ambassador program too will receive some extra information at times, like, hey, please send this out to your network and be praying for, whatever is going on.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll
So
be
we can expand our prayer chain.
yeah, yeah. Prayer is so powerful, so that's great.
Yes. Yes. Couldn't do any of this without prayer.
Nope. And speaking of prayer, we've had some answered prayers with missionaries down there, right? Are
Yeah,
they
so I know we mentioned before the couple from the family. It's not just a couple; they've got little girls, but from Canada. We're pretty sure they're coming in September.
yeah,
Yeah,
good.
so they've secured a house. They're waiting until they get in town to buy a car, which is wise, so they can see it and drive it and all that. But yeah, it's coming together, and we're excited to get them down there. And they're really excited. They're an awesome family.
I'm excited for them. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yeah, so they'll be helping with teams a lot. He's a construction worker, so he'll have some hand in our construction. She's homeschooling and will continue to do that, but they both have had Spanish training. Their Spanish is good. Their girls have been learning Spanish as well, so they'll, of course, with kids they don't need a whole lot of
They learn pretty
ahead of time. They
mm,
will, yeah, yeah. Awesome couple,
great.
awesome family. Yes,
Yeah.
we're
What?
ready for them to get down there, and but they certainly need prayer.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there. The last chat we had with them, they're excited, but there's some
Nerves, I'm sure.
hesitancy. Yeah, there's some just the unknown and
Mhm.
the change and the newness and all that. It's normal.
Yeah. And sometimes the longer the run up to the, event, the more stressful it can be because you have more time to like mull over all the unknowns. So,
Yep.
Sure, that's
Yeah.
part of that too. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, when we made a decision to go down there full time, we thought we were going to wait for our one of our daughters to finish high school, but we were there a year later, and I'm thankful that we didn't wait because yes, it would have been a long couple of years of thinking and overthinking and building up something in our minds that just wasn't reality.
Right. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
better to just rip off the Band-Aid.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
All right. And you're partnering with another ministry down there for a little bit.
Yeah, so we have a new ministry partner who came down in, I believe, in March. But they build homes. So we introduced him to one of our families um, that we've known for a while. They actually lost a child to diabetes, which is very common, and I'm sorry, kidney failure. And anyway, so they're family that are doing everything right. They're working. They're in the church.
Mom family.
They're trying. Yes, and we like to help people who are doing the right things, who are helping themselves. And so anyway, this partner is going to build a house for them. Something very basic. They have their own lot, which they bought with their own money, and but just to build a block house that they can call their own,
Mhm.
and yeah, they can raise their other kids there, and hopefully it will be a huge blessing to them.
Yeah.
We're very happy.
Yeah. It's nice to help anybody, but when you see those families that are really trying really hard and they just need a break, to be able to step in and do that is, I'm sure, a really powerful gift to both them and yourselves to be able to participate in that.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to have to pay rent anymore. Not that it was a lot of money, but it's still something you
Yeah.
struggle with when you're trying to feed your family. And so they'll have their place to call their own. And yeah, we're very blessed that this partner ministry's come alongside. I don't know. We don't know if you still, what the future is going to look like, if they're going to continue to do that. Um, but we were glad to introduce them to this very deserving couple and just pray that they're very happy in their new home.
Mhm. That's wonderful. I'm happy for them. All right. Anything else? Any specific
I
requests besides like the golf tournament and the missionaries?
our house parents, our staff have a very very hard job. They're always in need of prayer. They I don't want to I don't want to talk. I'm going to share because they need the prayer, but we have our different departments. We have our school, we have our house parents, we have our professionals, which would be our psychologists and social workers. We have our administration, and they don't always get along, one department to the other, just because they have different jobs and different, they see, different perspectives on how to raise kids and how to teach kids, how to work with kids. And it's a community. We have about 80 staff, and when you have that many people, it not everybody thinks the same way. So it can build strife, but they're amazing people. We're trying to get over this hump right now of not pointing fingers, just looking in the mirror more, and having grace, with each other. And
It's
it's
a,
not like they're constantly fighting. It's just there's some roadblocks that come along with,
yeah,
that kind of thing. So
it's like a big family. And people have that in normal families, and everybody's living in the same area, everybody's working together. It's just like a family, and it's normal to have those family disagreements and challenges. And yeah, it's
yeah,
very,
and not everybody parents the same way, and not everybody raises kids the same way. So everybody has their own opinion, and
Mhm.
sometimes when you're sharing a child with other entities like school and counseling, then sometimes you know
Mhm.
there's conflict.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
normal, yeah.
it is.
But they're always, yeah, yeah. But they're always in need of prayer. We always ask that because we have amazing staff. We're very blessed, but They're in hard, they're in the front lines of dealing with trauma every day, and the enemy knows it and goes after.
And when you're stressed like that, it's harder to give grace to other people because you're stressed yourself. So yeah, we'll be praying for peace and unity and just protection from the enemy all over them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. We greatly appreciate it.
Right. Anything else this month?
I think that's all, Kathy. God is always working, always moving. He's amazing, and we're blessed to be a part of what he's doing at the James Project. Every day, I ask myself, why me? And I'm thankful.
A lot of work, but it's really meaningful and purposeful work. So
Yes, it is.
thank you for doing it.
We love it. We love it, and can't imagine doing anything else.
It's wonderful. All right. We'll chat again next month.
Okay, Kathy, thank you so much.
Thank you.